Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program brought to you by Calhoun's. March Madness gets underway this week, and that means watch parties. Go the smart route. Order a Feed 5 or Feed 10 family pack with all the food, sides, utensils, plates, napkins, heck, even beer. If you're looking for that, they do that too from the Smoky Mountain Brewery. Calhoun's. Call them this week. Get your party started. Calhoun's. All right. Right over here on the Wipey board in front of you, this is the latest tournament projection this morning from ESPN's Joe Lunardi, the first guy who did bracketology. He has Tennessee in the South region, a number 3 seed, playing Charleston in the first round. Second round would be against Miami. It would be Miami or the winner of Texas St. Mary's. I'm disappointed he said Texas because I was going to have a little fun with that later. We'll still bring that up. But that is Joe Lunardi's pick. And well, let me hand this to Mr. Pankratz to hold up. Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, has his up. He's also got Tennessee a number 3 seed in Nashville, but he has them in the Midwest Regional. He has them playing Wright State. And then in the second round, it would be the team that gets out of Houston, Oklahoma St. Mary's. So everyone seems to have Tennessee as the top number 3 seed, playing in Nashville and also getting the winner of a play-in game. So that's Lunardi, and that is Palm. So how much do these seeds really matter? That's one. Good job, Mark. Nice job. I'll take it.
Thank you.
Professional. How much do seeds really matter? You know, Tennessee was a 6 seed in 2010, made the Elite 8. Tennessee was a 2 seed in 2006, almost lost in the first round to American, lost in the second round to 10 seed Wichita State. So you can argue that it doesn't make a lot of difference. But if you look over time, all right, since the tournament expanded to 64 teams in 1985, here's what the 2s, 3s, and 4s have done. As you can see, first round, the 2s plays 15, 3s play 14s, 4 play 13s. Hard to say. All time, though, you got the records there. Number 2 seeds come out of that first round game 94% of the time. Number 3s, 84%. Number 4, 80%. So there is some advantage the easier team you get, obviously. In terms of making it to the Sweet 16, yep, 2s make it to the Sweet 16 more often. About half. Every year, about half of the 3 seeds make it. So if Tennessee's a 3 seed today, we got a 50-50 shot of making the Sweet 16, depending on how the bracket falls. 4 seeds, they're below 50%. Final 4, 21% of 2 seeds make it. So 1 out of every 5. So 1 every 2 years makes it. 11% of the 3 seeds, less than 10% of the 4 seeds. And in the second round, number 2s will play the winner of 7s and 10s. 3s will play the winner of 6s and 11s. 4s will play the winner of 5 and 12. What about championships by seeding? All right, now again, this is since 1985. Pays to be a number 1 seed, folks. 21 titles have been won by a number 1 seed. Of course, there are 4 1 seeds in every tournament, but that's 64% of the time. Number 2s, they've gotten 4 titles. Number 3s have gotten 4 titles. So if you're a 3 seed, you're being looked at as a possible national champion in the committee's eyes. 4 seed, 1 title, 0.03%. No titles for 5 seeds. You know, everybody always knows that the 5-12 game is the dangerous one on the tournament line. That bears out. There has been a 6 that's won it. There's been a 7 that's won it. And going all the way back to 85, the only number 8 seed to win it, Villanova beating Georgetown. All right, now, what about the SEC? Tennessee coming out of the SEC. You think, well, it hadn't been great in recent years, but thanks to Kentucky and Florida, you've been carrying your banner all right. In the last 12 years, the SEC has reached 7 Final Fours. 8 teams have made it, and they've had 3 national champions. Not bad for a 12-year run. Carolina last year, then Kentucky won the championship in 2012. Florida champions in 07, Florida's champion in 06, and then LSU made a run as well. And one of the oddities in the SEC, as you look back at Tennessee's history, one of the best schools in the conference in basketball, and yet they're the one that's never made they're due. Let's put it that way. They're due to have a Final Four run. Let's look at Tennessee's tournament history very quickly. This will be their 21st trip to the tournament, but their record overall is 19-21. How can they already have 21 losses in 20 tournaments? Apparently they played consolation games in the regionals in 1967. I wouldn't remember that. But the regional consolation game they lost in 1967 to Indiana. In the second round, they've made it to the second round 14 times. All right, so they usually make it. Sweet 16, they've made it 7 times. But there were only 16 teams in the 1967 tournaments. That's a little misleading. 6 times they made it. One of those years they made it under Don DeVoe, which was a 32-team field, so they only had to win 1 game. But still, 1 Elite 8 that Mark Pankratz will remember well. And they've only won 3 games in the tournament twice, okay? 2010, when you guys made it to the Elite 8, when they beat Ohio. Ohio had upset Georgetown. And in 2014, when they beat a number 14 seed, Mercer. who had upset Duke, I believe it was. So if Tennessee draws, if they're the 3 seed today and they play a 14, maybe that's a good omen. Because the last 2 times they've done it, they've won 3 games of the tournament. Finally, I want to close with this. Let's take a look at this year's sites for the tournament. Boise, Charlotte, Dallas, Detroit, Nashville, Pittsburgh, San Diego, Wichita. Everyone wants Nashville. I think they're going to get Nashville. If they don't, Charlotte wouldn't be bad either. Mark, do you care, quickly, yay or nay, like 20 seconds here, do you care if you're a coach where you're going?
Absolutely, especially if you can get Nashville, and fan base would be huge, huge.
But if it's not Nashville, does it matter any of the rest of them? Closer the better?
Closer the better.
Okay. Very good. When we come back, we're going to start talking matchups. We got more SEC finals to discuss later, but now we've got some of this out of the way. What's Tennessee's fingerprint? Who are they? What makes them good? What makes them bad? Why are they going to have a good run? Why are they going to have a bad run in the tournament? We'll discuss. Come on back.